Let's start with part 1, the 12 changing lessons from Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life book. First, part 1 includes the first 6 rules. Welcome to our English channel. Today we are diving into Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, a book that has transformed millions of lives. These rules are not just advice, they are bullet blueprints for confidence, discipline, and success. Let's explore the first 6 rules. First, rule number 1 is that stand tall, which means your posture shapes your mind. This is not just about standing straight, it's about embodying confidence. Science shows that your body language affects your mindset. Slouching tells your brain, I am weak, while standing tall signals the strength. Example: two job candidates walk in, one hunched, the other upright. Who gets hired? Which is the question. The confident one. Absolutely. Action. Every morning, stand before a mirror, pull your shoulders back, and affirm, I am capable. I am capable. Walk like someone who owns their space. Next is rule number 2. Love yourself like someone you are responsible for. We often care for others better than ourselves, which is a truth. Would you let a loved one skip meals or wallow in self hatred? Probably not. Yet we do this to ourselves. Example is that treat your health like a precious project. Eat well, sleep, and speak kindly to yourself. Let's move to the action, which is replace I am a failure with what would I tell my best friend in this situation. Next, move to the rule 3, which is choose friends who lift you up. Your circle shapes your future, which is a true. Toxic friends drain you, ambitious one inspire you. For example, Group A explains all day. Group B discusses the goals, which fuels growth, which is the main question. Absolutely, the second one. And the action is that always audit your friendship, distance yourself from negativity, seek mentors and communities that align with your aspirations. Rule number 4 is that compete only with your past self. Like social media makes us compare endlessly, but the only fair comparison is you versus yesterday. For example, student A quits English after seeing fluent speakers. Student B tracks the daily progress. Who will improve? Let's move to the action. General one small with daily to improve your English. Next is rule 5, which is discipline the freedom. Spoiled children become entitled adults. Similarly, indulging every whim leads to a life you will regret. For example, two employees, one disciplined, the other always late. Let me ask you, who is gonna get promoted? Action in this case is that identify one harmful habit like procrastination and replace with it a discipline. For example, a morning routine. Next rule is that fix yourself before fixing the world. Blaming society won't pay your bills. Successful people focus on what they can control. For example, friend complains about the economy, whereas a friend B who upskills and start aside a hustle. In your opinion, who thrives? Absolutely the B1. Action in this case, there are at least three areas of your life needing improvement, like health, skills, or other things. Tackle one this week, then the second in the next, and keep on. Let's move to the part two, the remaining six rules from the truth telling to finding joy in sickness. Rule number seven is that pursue meaning, not just pleasure. Shortcuts lead nowhere. Therefore, you should also always need the long way. Real success requires patience and effort. For example, path A is to binge watching TV, while on the other hand, part B is to study nightly. Where does mastery lie? Obviously, it's in the long one. And the action in this regard is that ask, is this easy or is it meaning something? Choose the later one. Next rule is honesty is your superpower. Lies corrode self respect in the deep end. Truth builds trust not in yourself but also in others. For example, a leader who admits mistakes earns loyalty. On the other hand, one who blames loses credibility. Action in this scenario is that catch yourself in a white lie today. Pause and tell the truth instead. Next rule is that listen like you could be wrong, which means that everyone knows something you don't. Therefore, humility unlocks wisdom. Action, for example, person A interrupts while speaking to others. On the other hand, person B asks questions to get as much information as he can. And in this case, obviously, the second one will get the more chances to learn. In this case, in conversation, listen 70% and speak for just 30%. Next rule is that speak with precision, like vague language, which means results into the vague life. Clarity solves always the problems. Therefore, if in an example I am broke versus I will save $200 per month, which leads to the solutions? Obviously, the second one. In this way, therefore, redefine one problem today with precise words. For example, I lack time to change it to I waste 2 hours, but I will turn them to into useful thing. Next is rule number 11 is embrace challenges, which means avoiding risk stunts and growth. Skateboarding kids learn resilience through falls. For example, man A stays in a dead end job, while on the other hand, man B starts a business. Who is gonna grow? Obviously, the second one, because job is going to keep you in the dead hole. Action in this case is that take one smart risk this week, for example, public speaking or a night walk. Rule number 12 is that pet the damn cat, which means even in suffering, beauty exists. Notice it with deep thoughts. For example, person A drowns in grief. On the other hand, person B finds solace in a sunrise. Who heals faster? Which is the main question. And the action in this scenario is that when stressed, pause and savor one small joy like coffee, walk, or something else. Let's move to the final thoughts that we have done from these 12 rules of the Peterson advice. Life first is that life rewards those who has the courage to stand tall in adversity. Choose growth over the comfort and find meaning in the struggle. Your turn is which rule resonates most with you. Comment below, and if you are ready to transform, start today with only one small step. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today, which is the main quote. Thank you for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Keep practicing, stay curious, and I will see you next time.